Yo, what is up, guys? What is poppin'? We're back with the IDM Season 3, Week 7. We're facing our boy ZAMCRO, aka coach of the Blackmont Raikougars, and aka Scotty, or Scoot. Um, long time friend of mine. We had some differences back in the day, but we're chill now, and it's always fun to play him because he is a very creative builder and always drafts some pretty threatening squad. As he got the Z Lander T, the Zera Aura, Necrozma, potential Z Incineroar, Mega Dynasty, and regular Scissor. Pretty threatening squad. Pretty much all the mons I didn't want to see, but all the mons I expected to come, pretty much. And yeah, we're 5-1 heading into this week. I think he's 2-3, having had like 2 or 3 rough losses these last weeks, but maybe it's like 3-2. Or like no wait, this week 7 is like 3-3, I think. So that's not too bad. It's not like out of playoffs or anything. But the team we built, nice Spadef, Agi, Flash Cannon, HP Fire, King Shield, Toxic obviously to catch Incineroar, to catch potential Decidueye, which he has, even though that's not like a great switch to catch Necrozma on the switch. Flash can be Bob Diancy. King Shield just to like get some more toxic damage off and scout for moves. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty standard A slash with the Mega Diancy squad, I would say. Also like decent check to Zeraora, even though like it can potentially sub up on me if it has sub. I reckon like sub could come, like sub work up or sub bulk up, but I got some counterplays to that. It's nice because I got a max speed Zama or close to max speed that like just outspeeds their aura and can revenge it. I got Garchomp that takes a hit unless like HPI's work up, but I don't think that's a set. Sub HPI's work up doesn't work as well as sub bulk up. But my Garchomp here is a SD variant. Dragonium Z Outrage, obviously, Earthquake, and Substitute. Substitute here to capitalize on sacks, to capitalizing on him scouting for Z Earthquake, for example, with a potential defensive Lando, to sub up on Incineroar potentially, to maybe sub up on Necrozma if it's like mono knockoff. But yeah, we gotta see where we can capitalize with Substitute, but definitely possible for us. Zapdos here is, I think, a Roost Toxic variant with T-Bolt and HPIs, I would say. Enough speed to outrun Adamant Lando, because Adamant Lando with Gravity could fuck up my team. I want to outspeed it and KO it after rocks with my HPIs, which I do. I'm invested to do just that, so that's pretty nice. Snorlax here is a Rest Talk Curse variant. Mono Body Slam, which is kind of an odd bring versus a squad with Scissor, Zera Aura, because Plasma Fist turn normal moves um, into electric type moves and give them Volt Absorb, as well as versus a Decidueye. But I got like Toxic on 3 months here on my Zapdos, on my Egg Station, and I think on my Piloswine. Maybe only on the 2 months, but I can easily Toxic Zeraora with Zapdos if it wants to come in on a T-bot. I can easily Toxic um, Decidueye and can easily like beat it because like Zapdos Egg Slash like gets a Toxic off, Zapdos gets a Toxic off, Piloswine beats it, um, Zama 2 KOs it, and Garchomp pops it with the Outrage, so that's not a threat. And versus Scissor, I don't expect it to be a Sword Sense variant. I expect it to be like a Spadef set to kind of beat Zama 1 versus 1, and yeah, like I like just think that Snorlax beats those kind of scissors anyway because he can just curse up. And even if he like is SD, he doesn't do too much unless he's like bugged by it. Because if he U-turns out at +2 or so, yes, he does a nice chunk. That's over 50, but I can rest on those turns and keep me out of range of pretty much everything. He also has like Diancy, which is kind of unfortunate. If that's a Carmen variant, that's bad for Lex, but if it's not, I beat it 1 versus 1 too because all of its attacks, like all of its special attacks, are 4 KO, which means I got easy rest turns on that. And like Diamond Storm has crit me twice once I'm at +1 to bop me. So that's pretty clean. Piloswine here, my rocker this week. Dual or triple stab. I forgot if I get Toxic over Icicle Crash or over Icicle Spear, but I don't know. And Zammer is just a 4 tech revenge killer. HP Fire, Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, and Psychic. 4 Focus Blast after rocks can 2-hit KO like AV Incineroar, or does 2-hit KO AV Incineroar pretty easily, so that's kind of clean. And it's like just a safe revenge killer versus non-Scarf Lando versus Zeraora versus Diancie, and like I needed a mon that outsped Diancie and Zeraora, and ZAMCRO does that. ZAMCRO also allows me to wall like a Plasma Fist close combat sub bulk up Zeraora, because like +1 CC bounces and yeah, like because Trace obviously I Trace the Volt Absorb, and yeah, he can't really touch me, so that's pretty clean. So anyway, let's hop into the game. I lead off with my Aegis to get a Toxic off as early as possible and to have a solid way to deal with Diancie lead. I get a Toxic off as he knocks me off. Knocking me off is kind of unfortunate. When we played, I kind of forgot that this thing got knocked off. But yeah, he gets rid of my lefties, but it's not too bad. I wish I had King shielded here, but rocks, if he had it on the Crossmar, were too obvious, so I was like, yeah, fuck it. Here I go for double Toxic, trying to catch the Incineroar, which like probably wants to scout for a Shadow Ball, and I get that play off. I want to click Toxic again here, but I was like, yeah, let me King Shield here if he like wants to Flare Blitz or something. That helps out my switches a lot, because I don't switch it too well versus Lando. He gets up his rocks, isn't too big of a deal, my team is not too weak to it. As I get a mine, he goes into Sis. I go into my Zapdos. I wish this was Rocky Helmet. I changed it from Rocky Helmet to Chardy Berry, I think. No, to Leftovers. Pretty much before the game, but here I got a free Roost pretty much. As Incineroar comes in. Incineroar takes rocks and poison damage, which is nice. I don't want this thing to knock me off, but yeah, I can just go for the discharge here. He actually U-turns out, so he doesn't knock me off. I don't have a switch into knockoff, which is unfortunate, because without lefties, Moonblast on Diancie can turn into a 3-hit KO on Snorlax, so that's kind of bad. Anyway, he U-turns out into Diancie. I go into my Aggie, which covers the Diamond Storm. Diamond Storm into Earth Power is not a 2-hit KO. Moonblast into Earth Power actually though is a roll to KO me. Does like 47 max. It's a roll in my favor, and I'm forced to stay in here pretty much. I go for the Flash Can. I see stays in and will die to the Flash Can, which is nice. I get a big threat out of the way. I don't think he should have sacked it there, but what can you do? Or like go for the roll there. Pretty much wasn't really a sack, but going for the roll there was ballsy and like probably not in his best interest, because Diancie really went in versus me. Zeraora comes in, I go for the Flash Cannon to try to break a sub. If it's uninvested, I actually do break a sub, but it probably is designed to sub up here. I'm surprised he does sub up in the face of an Aggie slash, because Shadow Ball always breaks a sub and doesn't like give him much, but goes for bulk up here, so I break the sub with Flash Cannon. I think on this next turn I go into my Garchomp, knowing that he probably wants to sub up again. I can just go for the Earthquake here, as he goes for the Life Orb close combat, which does a fuck ton. Doesn't really matter, but with Rough Skin and Life Orb, I put him out of range of another substitute. So on this next turn, I can just go into my Aggie slash sack it, as he tries to make like a ballsy flank, goes for the Plasma Fist. But now I can go to Zam, just click Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball guaranteed knocks it out, and I can see what his switching is. He goes into a Necrozma, which actually reveals to be a max speed death variant. Physically defensive Necrozma would have just gone down. I don't want to catch an X-Scissor if it's like physically offensive, so I go into my Garchomp, and I can just go for the Z Earthquake here, I think, which definitely puts in a range of Toxic. That should do like 72%. Intimidate goes off on the Lando, but Garchomp here still does 46%. This Lando reveals to be almost max physically defensive, so that's good to know. Here I could potentially stay in, because defensive U-turn doesn't KO me, but I don't want to set up an SD versus a Lando. He goes for the U-turn. My static does not go off, which is unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Necrozma comes in again. I can just go for the Roost here, which I think is still important to check Scissor, to check Necrozma, not Necrozma, to check Zeraora, to check Incineroar, or switch into Incineroar once, and to check Lando. But he goes for Toxic. Here I go into Garchomp, knowing that Moonlight is probably gonna come out, and I can just SD up here, because knockoff doesn't kill me at 12% if it's uninvested, and Swords Dance guarantees me to KO this Landorus with Outrage on the next turn. My Garchomp is like very bulky and kind of slow, so this still could like outrun me, but with the damage I did with Devastating Drake, that was like pretty much no way he would outrun me unless like max defense, some HP, and a lot of speed or something. But that really doesn't make sense on defensive lander. So I was pretty certain that SD was my best play, because even if he stays in like crits me with knockoff, toxic plus rough skin damage put it in range of any attack on my monster, and I would like allow my Zama to just um, revenge kill it, which would be pretty clean. So I go for the swords until his lander comes in, and I can get off a free outrage, which actually forces him to sack his lander obviously, and to force him to either go for the go into Zera Aura to revenge me and go down to Life Orb and Rocks, or to go into Scissor and take rough skin damage. I'm fine with either because Scissor is an annoying amount of health, but here I can go into my Zap. I think I go for the Roost here, because I don't want to give Zera Aura a free Volt Absorb, but I think he's gone for the Heat Wave there and sacked his thing here, which is fine. I go into my Pillow Swarm because it also covers him going into Zera Aura on a sec, knowing that HPIs from Zapdos can't knock out AV Incineroar, which he actually was at 9%, so it covers pretty much all options. But he tried to get some damage off with the Fake Out, and that works out pretty well for me. Scissor comes in, and Scissor is like kind of annoying. I go for the Earthquake here. I'm trying to keep it low. As he goes for the Bullet Punch once, and now like I don't really have a good countermeasure to Scissor because I noticed that this thing is Orca Berry, and I don't want to go into Zapdos all the time because that could potentially give Zera Aura a free Volt Absorb, which I don't want to happen. So I'm actually like trying to keep it low, force it into Roost, and then go into Zam, because Zammer traces the HP, traces the Technician, and HP Fire through Orca Berry will put him in range of Roxy on this next turn. If he U-turns out, let's see, I do 63, which was pretty much the min. He U-turns out, and with Rocks up, he's going down, which means my Pillow Swine is looking very, very clean, even at 46%. So, as well as my legs, obviously. Goes for the knock, I don't care. I go for the curse here, I think, trying to end this game pretty much. As yeah, Necrozma can't beat me 1v1. Sex Scissor on another curse. Yeah, I get to +2/+2, and Zera Aura comes in, and if this goes for Plasma Fist, that's pretty sick. But I just go for the rest, predicting him to go for the close combat. Like if I just rest up with this and curse up, it pretty much cannot beat me unless I attack it. So knowing that it's Life Orb, I can just like always curse up on his bulk ups, and at some point he's forced to attack me, while I can just always click rest. And like pretty much force him to kill itself with the Life Orb. And now it's +2 legs versus, which actually reveals to be toxic as the knockoff Moonlight Necrozma. But I get the Sleep Talk on the Body Slam. +6 knockoff would have done like 30 or so without my item and a +2, so it wouldn't have mattered which kind of sleep roll I got. So Snorlax coming in clutch and winning this game for me, which is pretty nice. We improved to 6-1. I think we get a forfeit win next week because like my opponent has been dead, but we'll see how that goes. Maybe I will have to play somebody, but anyway, we're 6-1 now, second best team in the league because one guy is still undefeated, but in a very good spot, pretty much on our way to clinching playoffs with another win. And yeah, that's all we need to put us into a position where we can repeat in this league. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. GG to Scotty. Fun squad that he brought, but was no test for our team. Not just kidding. It was definitely a close one, but with a better end for us. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and a comment if you did, and I catch you in the next video. See ya.